Como esse pseudo-conceito pode levar ao feminicídio? É uma pergunta. A segunda, alguém escreveu sobre a falta de recursos financeiros para ajudar organizações de base de sobreviventes, né? Como superar situações desafiadoras, sobretudo de violações de direitos humanos tão graves como as mães vêm enfrentando no Brasil? Difícil, né? Mas como? Se tem alguma ideia, se você conhece talvez iniciativas em outros países que você poderia talvez compartilhar aqui com a gente. Inclusive a pessoa cita que há uma falta de representação na política e na construção das políticas nas políticas públicas das mulheres mães. E também, ainda sobre a questão da maternidade, é uma pergunta sobre a violência institucional de gênero do sistema de justiça contra as mulheres mães. Então, quando elas denunciam violência doméstica contra si ou contra o filho, passam a ser vitimizadas pelo sistema de justiça. Como superar esse acesso, falta de acesso à justiça de mulheres, principalmente mães e crianças? É uma pergunta difícil de responder, né? Mas enfim, talvez você tiver alguma, talvez práticas ou iniciativa em outro país, outros países que você possa compartilhar. Gente, tem um monte de pergunta legal, mas não vai dar para fazer, tá? Sobre casamento infantil, sobre, enfim. Quem sabe no final alguém que queira chegar para ele conversar.
So this is also an important question about parental alienation, because I also did a whole report on the issue of parental alienation and how it is used against mothers. And as you know, Brazil is the only country in the world so far where alienating your child against a parent, against one of the parents, is considered a crime, and where this is very much weaponized and used particularly against mothers who are accused of alienating their children from their fathers. It's an important example because it shows also one of the main reasons why we have continued impunity and lack of access to effective justice, and that is the gender stereotyping and the gender bias in the judiciary across the board. So in many countries, once again, even those countries that pretend to be or want to be feminist and do the right things, their justice systems at all levels continue to hold very strong stereotypical views about women, including mothers, that then lead to a miscarriage of justice. And that is something also that states have not focused on enough. The issue of training, the issue of how to adopt a proper gendered lens to study a situation. Unfortunately, also, parental alienation is an industry in the sense that many benefit from it being used. It also benefits the perpetrator of violence because many of the men who invoke or in courts that their partner or ex-partner, in this case the woman, has alienated the child, are doing it as a way to turn attention away from the real issue. And the real issue is usually that he has been violent towards her or the child. And so by presenting this or introducing this issue of parental alienation, he is trying to divert attention from what is really at stake and turn the tables and put the victims, which is the mother and the child, in the seat of the accusation seat, and often with a lot of success. So I'm going to say how the United Kingdom, for example, has dealt with increasing allegations of parental alienations as also an example of, a good example of what is being done to increase the access of women suffering from domestic violence or children from domestic violence to justice. Because the UK, for example, did or had one of its ombudspersons do a study on this. So I think that's a very good step, like do a more independent inquiry into this issue, which showed that it is an issue in the UK. But then also, based on their findings, they issued regulation to the justice system to say that when it comes to custody situation, judges should no longer assume that there must be automatic contact between the child and both parents. Because they realized that many judges were, even in the face of evidence that the father committed sexual abuse or violence against the child, would still rule that the child had to be sent to his father on weekends, or be in touch with his father, because it's in the best interest of the child to be in contact with the father, even if the father is a predator or is a violent person. So they made it very clear and said the starting point is not that contact should be established. So they removed this automaticity in the judge's approach to things. And now also we are seeing more, what's the right word? Successful attempts to hold experts, these child experts that are brought in family courts and that are also trained to recognize parental alienation, quote-unquote parental alienation. So they are being now held accountable for their harmful role in advising courts that parental alienation has happened. And we have to also encourage judges to look, as I say, at each case on a case-by-case basis, and to study the full history of the case, and not just focus on this accusation. They have to look at, again, as we said, context. Context really, really matters. Was there any other question?